So hey guys, Yanni here, and let's talk about moisturizing locks. I keep seeing videos. Hold on. I keep seeing videos where they're advertising a product to restore the moisture in your locks, right? And I want to talk to that for 1 second, just to people who may not know this, okay? First and foremost, the first thing with our hair is that it's already perfect when we start messing with it, right? And so we really don't have a moisture problem. What you have is a harsh products problem. Like if your locks are not accepting moisture, or if they are uh, like a lot of people, they put something that is supposed to be moisturizing in their locks and it just eats up that moisture. I keep hearing that. And then I see other locticians creating these moisture products, right? I want y'all to know the first thing that you want to do to restore the moisture of your locks is to stop washing them with deep cleansing shampoos. If you wash your hair and it feels squeaky clean afterwards, you just stripped your hair with a shampoo. And so to put on some kind of conditioner after that is not going to moisturize your hair. So if you were thinking about getting some product, or they told you to start spraying your hair every day, but they didn't go over the products that you was actually using now that's creating your moisture problem, I want you to back up 1 second and realize that your hair is what it eats. So if it's dry as I don't know what, that's because you're using products that actually dry your hair out rather than moisturize it. And what you need to know is that shampoo is one of the harshest chemicals that we use in our natural hair process. So that usually is what's drying your hair out, is that you're using the wrong type of shampoo. However, most locticians, they don't know anything. They just look at videos and whatever the person said on the video, they're ready to try it, which is how you got detoxing when you're supposed to use water pressure, which is why people use lock gel when it literally is not even the right product to retwist with, and it makes your retwist last 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So I want y'all to, especially from this channel, right? I want you to know the real deal stuff. Hey guys, if y'all watching, give me some kind of comment or acknowledgement that you feel what I'm saying. If you have locks that are dry, right? Because most people do. But you also are using the same exact product that other popular locticians and all that are using, right? And that is why your locks are probably dry. The other thing is I see people get color and then you use vinegar on color. Like, do not detox your hair if you don't want it to dry out, right? And I want y'all to get this, that washing your locks is going to require some water pressure, right? So imagine this, right? Imagine I'm trying to get something clean and I'm just sprinkling water on it. Is it gonna get clean? No. So when you sit down in the sink to get your locks washed, if they don't have enough water pressure, you know what it's gonna make? Mud. And then you know what they're gonna tell you? You need a detox. I want you to say, no, you need some water pressure, right? They need water pressure, okay? The other thing you wanna do, and I get why a lot of people are washing their locks so often, is because maybe your scalp might have dandruff. You see my scalp has no dandruff at all. Not one flake in my hair. If I do twist my hair, right, you're going to see no product popping up in there. You see how it's no product popping up in there? The reason why is because I use products that our hair actually recognizes as food, okay? Now I want y'all to get that a lot of these products is gunk. The lock gel that y'all using that looks like edge control, that people pretend is not actually edge control, it's just gunk. And it actually shows up later when I do the retwist on people. They come and I have to go ahead and unravel the retwist that they had. And then you can see that there looks like dandruff, but really it's just lock gel after some weeks still in your hair, creating this flaky, nasty, gunky crap, you know. And then again, that water pressure gets it out. So what am I doing today? And don't get me wrong, I dried my hair out, right, by doing the color. However, I use things that actually really do moisturize, and you have to stop using the shampoo. So it's like, let's say that you are somebody who you have locks and your scalp is already to the point where it's dry as I don't know what. Let's talk about what's going to happen when you let your locks stay dry and you keep listening to other people on YouTube that have no clue what they're talking about. The first thing that's going to happen is that your locks is probably going to start breaking off, right? But it doesn't break off fully. What happens is when you rub your hands through it, you'll see little curls all on your hands, right? You'll see little curls all on your clothes because that is your hair shedding, right? And when it's shedding, at the end of the day, you might not think that's breaking, but however, that's little tiny pieces of the hair that's supposed to be in the lock just coming off, right? And so I want y'all to not be fooled, because somebody got on my video the other day and they were like, your hair is so thin, why don't you crochet it? Crocheting does not fix thinning. It doesn't fix anything, actually. And it's really a sign that your stylist just doesn't know how to do the natural process of twisting hair to make it lock. You know, like a lot of people are trying to make hair lock when it locks automatically on its own. If you on the video and you getting some kind of resonance out of this, let me know that you are on the video. Hey Perry, R Perry, thank you for that. Let me know that y'all on this video. So what I've done is I've come out of just trying to sell my product, right? And just trying to share with you guys some of the education that has always been on the first lock channel to start showing y'all the full style. Like this is that channel right here. We was the first one to really share how to do barrels, right? Really share how to do fishtails on locks. And then a lot of stylists started looking at this channel, following the styling advice. But I wasn't giving the hair care advice because I didn't know y'all needed it that bad. But now it's like, yes. So what we want to do, and we're going to talk about how to keep your locks moisturized today. All right? That's what I'm talking about. So what I want to do first is I'm going to understand that I need to moisturize the whole lock. A lot of people, when y'all start your regimen, you just go here and you might put some product in here, you know, product on the scalp. I want you to know that all that does is moisturize your roots, okay? If you on here and you feeling what I'm saying, or is my sound out? Can y'all hear me? I need to know. And y'all know that every time when somebody's going live, that's when everybody want to start calling your phone. But anyway, back to what I was saying. You want to moisturize your locks from root to tip, okay? Roots all the way to the ends. That's what you want to do, okay? Root to tip. So I'm going to do my roots by parting through here. And today I'm not showing y'all my products. I'm just showing you a product that you can use to moisturize your locks. But here's the first thing is that if you are experiencing, wait a minute, can y'all let me know that you are watching the video? Can you let me know by just putting some kind of emoji or anything in there? But I want to show y'all this because a lot of people are losing their locks, needing a repair, needing all of this because they skipping this one thing. So I want you to understand that companies want to sell you stuff, right? They want to sell you stuff. And this is the deceitful crap they will do. They will sell you a harsh shampoo knowing that it's going to dry your hair out, right? And then they will also sell you some oil and tell you, wait, can I get any comments or anything? Is y'all resonating with this? Is there anybody on the call who no matter what you do to your locks, it just stays dry? I'm trying to share this secret with y'all, but I also need the engagement to keep going so that I understand that this is what y'all need to know. Because if not, then I need to be talking about something else. So do we need to talk about moisture? Is moisture a topic that will make y'all go ahead and comment on the video? Is it or not? Because if it's not, I'm going to just keep my little gems to myself about how to keep moisture in your locks. And I want y'all to get this. Y'all looking at full, healthy roots that are literally just small locks. Now, I got on here the other day, the lady was like, oh, your hair is thinning. No, it's not thinning. My hair is fine. There's a such thing as having fine hair, right? And when you have fine hair, it creates small locks. So I don't want y'all to get caught up in the scalp to lock ratio thing. And I don't want y'all to be following other people's lock journeys and thinking that you're going through the same thing as them, because a lot of times their stylist just is not know anything about the products that they're using. They got them off of a video and a recommendation, while the clients are sitting right there in a chair needing the help, where you can actually just do your own research on your own clients. You can actually just try a shampoo, see how it feels, monitor the people's scalp, right? Who's on here right now? So you see what I'm doing right now is I am adding moisture to my roots, right? Then I'm gonna comb it. I'm gonna brush it in a little bit with my fingers, right? Now this is gonna cover my roots, right? Which is good, but that doesn't get the ends of your hair. So when you want to do your moisture regimen, the first thing you gotta do is make sure that you didn't just strip your hair with some shampoo that is stripping, right? Because that's really step one. And I see so many people say, I don't put any products on my hair, right? And then I'll be like, so you don't use shampoo? And they be like, of course. Okay, well, that's a product. And that's the first product that you're gonna put on your hair, on your locks, on your dreads. It's usually gonna be shampoo. Now, what you need to know is that shampoo companies, these product companies, they will hide the fact that their shampoo is what's causing the dryness in your hair, so that they could sell you some moisture products that are still not going to work. And they probably is going to work for just a few minutes, okay? Just a few minutes they will work for. Right? They're going to work for a few freaking minutes, and that's it. And then after that, your hair is going to be back to dry, 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 dry. It's probably going to put dandruff on the scalp. And the first thing you're going to say is, I need to wash my hair, right? But it's not that you need to wash your hair. So let's talk about what to do instead when you might have dandruff and it looks like you really need to wash your hair, but you don't want to wash it. But I want to know that this is what you guys want to know about. So y'all got to comment or do something. Should I keep going with this conversation or not? Okay? Because I need to know what y'all need to learn now. I don't want to just be on here talking in this random junk. So I'm moisturizing my locks by doing what? Okay? And y'all gotta understand something about my locks, okay? This is not your retwisted locks. This is not retwisted. This is more like a free form. I started them out back in the end of 2023, right? And when I first did it, I twisted my hair after like the first 90 days. I did not wash it, okay? Now, one thing a lot of people say is, oh, if you don't wash your locks, they're gonna be dirty and have all of this stuff. And the real answer to that is they only going to be dirty and have all those products in there if you put all those products in there. If you don't put that stuff in your hair, then there's no residue from it. So I didn't need to do all of that. What I would do is I would take some witch hazel and I would go over my scalp with the witch hazel, with just like a rag, you know, but I don't have dandruff. And the reason why is because I know how to use products properly. You know, I know how to pH balance, which is what you actually want a loctician to be doing with the products. That's like the easiest way to get what you need done on your locks, is to consider the fact that if you want your body or your hair to be healthy, it has to be pH balanced. So when you use shampoo that is highly alkaline or highly acidic, right, what it does is kill your hair's ability to moisturize itself. And I want y'all to know that these products are made by chemists. So these chemists know that they are doing this on the unsuspecting black hair community, the natural hair community. Because I want y'all to get this. When natural hair community first came out, we had natural hair products. Understand that I was already doing hair for almost 14 years before they started saying natural hair industry, right? So, and you know what, since nobody wants to comment and say that this is the information y'all need to hear, because I don't know what y'all need to hear these days on YouTube, because I see a lot of janky product stuff going on. And those videos got so many views and likes, like y'all like people fucking up hair. in front of y'all, or maybe you just don't know that that's what's going on. So just in the event that y'all really just don't know that that's what's going on, I feel like y'all don't even know what healthy locks look like anymore, right? So let's talk about what to look for when your hair is starting to dry the hell out, okay? So let's talk about that. First thing you're going to look for is roots that are black with ends that are brown, but you never colored your hair, right? So if you never colored your hair, but your roots are a different color than your ends, I want you to get that that's a sign that your hair is dry, right? Now, I know my hair is dry because I totally been neglecting my hair because I do hair. You know, I'm more taking care of other people's hair than my own hair. And so today, I don't have anybody right now in my chair, and I got a chance to just talk to you guys right now about moisture, right? So does anybody have any specific questions that I can answer for them to help you get the moisture that you need for your locks? Does anybody have any of those questions, right? Anybody have any of those questions? Because y'all can't keep on just breaking it off and, oh, let me just get a repair. Everybody be coming asking me for repair. And when I try to tell them that repair is actually using the right product so that your locks don't start breaking in the first place, they already are past that point of the repair, okay? So what we need to understand is if you just got locks or your locks are just now starting to damage, the first thing that you can do to make your locks healthier is stop using harsh shampoo. I want y'all to get that. Some of this shampoo is really floor detergent. It's used to mop floors. And that means that it has to be drying to get wax out of floors. And that's not what you want for your hair, okay? Because they'll tell you, oh, the wax made your hair fall out. But that's not true. What made your hair come out is the fact that you used such a harsh chemical on it and it never recovered from that, right? Because you have to do things in the proper order. That's what they don't tell you when you're dealing with the natural hair community now, the lock community, is that products have to be used in the proper order. So I see a lot of people saying, oh, I use Dr. Bronner's, right? And I used to use Dr. Bronner's because I love how it deep cleans. However, if you're not working in construction, you didn't get some type of crap in your hair that you can't get out, you don't really need to be deep cleansing your hair. Your hair is like your skin. It's an extension of your skin. So I want y'all to think about what would happen if you deep cleansed your skin. It would start peeling because you're not supposed to be deep cleansing your damn skin and your hair. That's too harsh. Gentle cleansers only. Gentle cleansers. Because the thing is, it's only about keeping it clean or sanitized, not deep cleansing it. Your hair never needs to be deep cleansed unless you got something in there that is really, really hard to get out, okay? So we don't want to just be putting anything on our hair. Another thing is I want y'all to understand that companies will sell you some shit, right? And then sell you the solution. You remember they tried to sell us the vaccine idea? We didn't take it, so they said, fuck that, we're going to do COVID on y'all. Right? And then you still didn't get everybody taking the vaccine. And I remember at that time you had people arguing you down about they better take the vaccine. Now everybody's quiet because they know that people died from taking that junk. So this is the same thing going on in this hair community, is that you're recommending stuff to people that you don't even know the chemical composition of. And so when their hair starts falling out, now you don't have a solution other than to, let's cut that off and repair it. But what's a repair? What's a repair when the base, the actual problem of what's going on is not even addressed? A repair is nothing but a Band-Aid, right? So the real repair is going to consist of you using the products that you actually supposed to use, okay, to restore moisture. So I want you to get this too, is that means that you're not usually buying a new product, okay? What you're usually doing is going and finding something that you probably already got in your house that you use for other stuff. Like I said, this is going to be what you go to, okay? When shampoo, when your hair is so dry, nothing will moisturize it, this has to become your new shampoo, okay? I'm going to tell you why. Because this is for relief of minor skin irritations, right? Dandruff is a minor skin irritation. The other reason why you want to use just witch hazel is because the active ingredient, right, is witch hazel, 100% witch hazel. Guess what? It's one ingredient. So if this was to start making my hair act up, I would know exactly what ingredient made my hair act up. But when you use a shampoo, and I do use this shampoo right here. I like this shampoo. It is silicone mix. This is a safer shampoo because it really provides moisture to the hair. If your hair is dry, you actually feel the difference when you rinse this out. And then I like to follow it up with the conditioner, right? Now, these is not my products, and I do have products. However, I'm just trying to tell y'all what you can get just by going in the store. You're going to wash with this first, right? And do a thorough wash. The other thing is make sure that you have the right amount of water pressure, because this is another secret that locticians will never say. A lot of y'all work in salons where there's no water pressure and you just running water through the locks instead of actually busting the dirt out. So if you work somewhere where the water pressure is low, or you going to a loctician who has low water pressure when they washing your hair, it takes them an awfully long time to wash your hair. Then they still don't get the dirt out. And next thing you know, they be saying, oh, you need a detox. No, boo, you need to get some water pressure. And I want y'all to get this concept, because when you use a pressure washer, have any of you used a pressure washer or seen how a pressure washer works? It will actually bust the dirt out, right? With no detergent, no nothing. You know why? Because water pressure by itself is enough to clean dirt out of cement. So you need to understand that in the sink with no water pressure, you're gonna have a hard time getting your locks clean. Okay? Now, the other thing, like I said, you wanna look for little curls on your hands. And I let my hair get dry just so I could bring it back for you guys, okay? Not only that, this is my 6 retwists. I only had 6 retwists out of 3 years, okay? And understanding, so retwisting does not lock your hair, okay? And that's what we found out. Let me rephrase that. That's what I had to prove with my own lock journey, is that a lot of the stuff y'all are doing is causing the reason why your locks are having a hard time. I see people do comb coil videos. They're like, oh, I tried to comb coil my hair and it didn't work. No, you didn't work it. It works when you work it. But understand that when you get comb coils, there's not a lot to do with your hair after that if you're trying to lock it the natural way. Like everybody now is locking your hair by doing some kind of braiding technique, right? They want to do crochet. They want to do some darn double strand twists. Like that don't come out looking like locks, really. I mean, y'all could say it do, but it just really don't. In the actual way, when you get your comb coils, you got to understand that once you coil that, right, there's a process the hair is going through. Our hair looks like this. So you coiled it, that put everything uniform. It looks like nice, pretty curls. What happens is, once that grow out a little bit, you cannot wash that because it's not locked. So then when you wash it, it just puffs back out, right? That's what y'all be going through. And now you think, oh, my texture won't lock. It's not that, you're washing it too soon, okay? And if your hair is dirty after the few weeks, like say if you get a install of comb coils or whatever your install type is, and when you go back, they washed your hair, that means that loctician don't know how to lock hair, because water definitely will stop your locking process and start it over every single time until the hair gets locked, right? And I want to say, because a lot of people, every time I say this, they be like, oh, your hair is dirty, this and that. I want to show y'all that no, actually it's not. I got a little bit of grays in there now, but it's not dirty because I don't put a bunch of gunk in my hair. So if you are twisting, and I actually have some here. So like this right here, this little product right here, right? Y'all see this product? It says Edge Booster. They also have one called Lock Booster. I want y'all to start opening up this pack and looking inside of here. You look inside of there, right? And what I'm gonna do is scoop out a piece of this. If they wanna twist your hair with some shit that look like this, here's what I want you to know. This is why your hair is dry out. For one, because they gave you a deep cleansing shampoo, right? And they probably detoxed your hair and it felt so light and airy, but what that really did was strip out your scalp's ability to moisturize itself, right? That's basically what that did. If you did that, your scalp now cannot moisturize itself. So then they also don't put any oil or grease or anything, because if you mix it with this product, it's going to turn white. Now this product, okay, and let's talk about that. If this product turns white when you mix it with oil, which product is healthier for the hair? Is it this or is it the oil? Now we're not going to pretend that this, that don't have any nutritional value. Let's see what some of these ingredients are. It says for external use only. Avoid eye contact. If irritation occurs, wash thoroughly with water and keep out of reach of children. Is this really what you want to put on your hair? No. But your loctician said you should, and you watched a popular video where they did it right, so it should be good. It's not, okay? And what this is actually doing, I don't even see any, hold on, let's see where the ingredients are for this. Okay, here we go. We found the ingredients on the bottom of the thing. And see, this is when people get off of the video. You know why? Because they be the ones who swear by this product. So now they don't want to hear what you got to say about it. So let's talk about the ingredients, okay? There is water. Wait a minute. Isn't that crazy that this got 2 different labels of sets of ingredients on it? This literally has 2 different sets of ingredients on it. So now I'm wondering which one is the actual ingredients. And I seen a girl, she took my class on retwist, and she told me, Yanni, it looks like you locksmith. I've never locksmith in my life. I know how to pond roll, okay? That's all. Now, again, back to this product, right? We want to check out the ingredients on products that we use, because a lot of times the ingredient list, there'll be something in there that you're allergic to and don't even know it, because all you're thinking about is the one actual product. It's like if you are allergic to dairy and you eat some cake. Even though you didn't drink milk, it's milk in there. So you're probably going to experience the symptoms. So this is the same thing that's happening when you use these products like this. And we still talking about moisture, guys, still talking about moisture. So this product jar actually has 2 different labels on it. One that has the ingredients as water, cedar rest 20, beeswax, cedar rest 25, glycerin, propylene glycol, acrylates, copolymer, a bunch of stuff that is like, what the hell is that? Then it has fragrance, and it says hydrogenated castor oil way down at the bottom. And then it says hydrolyzed wheat protein. Okay, the other ingredient list, which is actually the one on this bottle itself, has xanthan gum, caramel, which is probably for the color, hymethid something, a really long word right here. Then it says hexylcinnamonyl. Then it says citronello. Then it says something acetate, alpha isomethyl ionone. This is why y'all scalp is jacked up, because you're using all of these chemicals. And then when you put castor oil or any kind of oil on this, it turns white, because the first thing oil is going to do is break that down and get that out of the skin. So that's what you're watching happen. But I want y'all to be aware of these products. This product is made in China. And if you look close, I'm going to put it up close, y'all can see the ingredient list. So now I got to write this company and ask them which freaking ingredient list is the real one, because this right here is the ingredients that I took off of the thing. When you open this, it has these ingredients as the ingredients, right? But when you remove this tag, it has a whole different set of ingredients. And at the end, it's made in China. Now, I want y'all to get, these are products made for us, Black people, that's made in China. They don't care about you. They don't care about you. This is why they're playing like this product. And that's what you need to know. If you experiencing moisture problems in your hair, you need to do a check of the ingredients that you're putting in your hair. And if you're using a product that looks like edge control, okay, this is for your freaking edges, all right? You see this? It's for your edges, okay? And I want y'all to get that this don't even work long. When you put edge control on your edges, it's meant to last for the day. And a lot of these edge controls don't even last for the day. They only last a few hours. So if you twist it with something that does this, right, it's a waste of time, okay? And this is something I like to store toward the end of videos, is that I want y'all to look at your hand, right? Just look at your hand. You have fingerprints and palm prints, right? And then, let me see, I'll get this just because, matter of fact, let me get a comb. Hold on one second. All right, thank y'all for waiting for me to come back. So here's a comb and here's my fingers, right? On my finger, the same way this looks on the side is the same way that my fingerprints look on my palm and my hands, right? So that's an indicator that just like using the comb to like go in your roots like this, your fingers actually do the same exact thing. You see? And so we've already been sold things that we don't really need, including these combs, all that stuff. And y'all could be like, oh, your roots are thin. That's all the whole part was. I didn't put any more in there. So no, it's not thin. I just have fine hair. However, they growing, right? Okay, so when you use the comb and then you start using this to slick the hair down, I want y'all to get that just spraying with water will do the exact same thing, okay? So you want to consider that when you put in all these different ingredients in your hair. So if your regimen consists of getting your hair washed, then doing a detox, then using the edge control to lock your hair or lock gel or whatever y'all calling it today, I want you to get that you just put, and this is for people that have a dry scalp. Is anybody on here with a dry scalp? No, of course nobody wants to admit it, but I'm gonna keep on going because I know that you just don't want to be called out. Let's just say y'all want to be called out. So understand, like this shampoo right here, I like this shampoo, but I'm also aware that this is the whole ingredient list here, right? So I have to be aware as a loctician that some of this stuff my client might be allergic to. So the first thing I'm going to do before I just write it off and say, oh, you need another product to moisturize your hair, I'm going to consider the fact that when you wash my hair, when I wash their hair, I just put 30 ingredients on their hair. If one of those is something that they're allergic to, I need to be mindful of that before I start going and putting more and more and more and more and more products on the hair. Because just between this 1, 2, 3, more than 10 products that it takes to make this, right? Then there's this product that has one list of ingredients here, and then on this label right here that I got off of here, it got a whole different list of ingredients. This one's starting with water and then a different type of alcohol. Something that is called cedar ref is literally just alcohol. And then beeswax and then something else called cedarol 25. So you got cedarol 20 and 25. Those is two different types of alcohol. Then you got glycerin, propylene, glycol, all of this. And y'all wondering why y'all scalp is jacked up. Because look, which ingredient list is it? So if y'all using this, they have lock booster, edge booster, whatever. If y'all using this, I want y'all to call the company and ask them which ingredient list is the real ingredient list, because they gave us this one plus this one. We need to know. And if you are experiencing problems with your scalp, understand that you using these products that have 30 and 40 ingredients. So how are you going to figure out what is the reason why your scalp is acting the way it is, right? You're just not going to. And then you're going to go to a loctician. You know what they're going to do? They're going to be like, oh, you need to use this. On top of the fact that they already dried your hair out. And they're going to keep on drying it out, right? Keep drying it out because they're not stopping the use of the product that's stripping the moisture. So you have to first stop the use of the product. It's like if you want to lose weight, the first thing you got to stop doing is eating cookies and cakes and all of that shit. If you want your locks to become moisturized, first thing you got to stop doing is drying them out, if that makes sense. So I would stop using what's drying my hair out, and I don't know what it is yet. So I would go back to a skin astringent. Okay, this cleans the skin without a chemical reaction. Okay, so when y'all feel the shampoo and it goes in your hair and it comes out feeling squeaky clean, you be like, oh, my hair feels so clean. I want you to get that that is a chemical reaction. It is not how your hair is supposed to be feeling after you wash it, okay? That's a chemical reaction. Your floor can feel like that because then you gotta put a new coat of wax on the floor to get it clean. But if your hair feels like that, you is asking for trouble. You're asking for trouble. So the first thing I want you to do is understand that we're gonna use this first, okay? Y'all see I'm not trying to sell y'all products. Go to CVS, go to Amazon, go wherever you need to go, and stop using shampoo for a little while and wipe your scalp clean with this. Now, what that's going to do is it's going to clean your scalp, but it's not going to give you suds like what you used to with shampoo. And it's definitely not going to alter the pH of your hair like a harsh shampoo will do. Okay? So if you are experiencing that, yes, go get your witch hazel. Go get your witch hazel. Okay, and what I usually do is after I do the witch hazel wipe down, and y'all can look through my Instagram, I have the witch hazel wipe down up there. I'm simply just applying that to a towel, and I'm taking a towel and just kind of wiping it down my client's parts, right? If they got dandruff in here, I'll take the towel and I will just go through that, okay? I also unravel the roots, which is going to look like untwisting, which my hair is not twisted, you know, my hair not twisted at the roots. So I can't show y'all that on mine, but I'm basically making the roots look back like this. Taking the roots out because this is where all that product that y'all are using to try to get a longer lasting retwist is going to store right up in there. Especially if you're using something that looks like that, okay? You're using a see-through product, all right? So let's talk about what you should be using. If you have the dandruff, you're going to use one ingredient products, okay? To twist with, to wash with, to moisturize. One ingredient products. That way, if I say, hey, what have you been using on your hair? You can tell me 3 things. But if you tell me I use this product, like for instance, if you use this product, then I don't know which one of these ingredient lists, first of all, is even the real ingredient list because they have 2 on here. Then second of all, I don't know what ingredient in this is causing the reaction on the scalp. So I want y'all to get this, okay? If you're trying to have natural hair, you need to be using natural stuff until you figure out what's actually wrong with your hair. But this ain't no natural product, okay? This is a straight up jelly alcohol. So if you're using this, you're going to experience some dry scalp. You're probably going to start experiencing itching. And every single client I do, if y'all look on my Instagram and y'all see where I got those you know, those pictures or those videos where the client got this caked up dandruff looking stuff at their roots, it's that product, right? Now, don't get me wrong, and then this is another thing too, is that y'all will see this, right? And see the edge control, and then somebody will have a clear one, and you'll be like, that's not the same product. But it is. It's the same product, but it has a different color in it. You see what I'm saying? So I want y'all to stop being product fools, you know, like you got a lot of product junkies that do hair and they do class with me and I go through their product list and I show them 6 or 7 different edge controls that they're calling lock gel. They got all of them. You done bought all of them. So we got to use common sense a little bit, guys. I'm not even saying it's your fault, but I want you to think about that, okay? When you make an omelet, right? Let's say you get an egg omelet and you're allergic to pork, right? I can't put no pork in the omelet or it's going to make you break out, right? So let's say that your hair don't need no more alcohol in it and then you use this. This got like 3 or 4 different types of alcohol, but it doesn't call it that because they want to be deceiving. These products are not made over here. They're not made by us and they're not made for us. But because the lock community is consistent of a bunch of natural hairstylists who learned on TikTok and YouTube, right? That's where they learned that. That's why they use this kind of stuff. They'll use some shit that's made in China on your hair, knowing that we need healthy products for our hair, right? So those people over there, they don't care about your hair. They just want you to believe that this product is what's going to make your hair healthy when no, okay? So I want y'all to ask questions And not to me. Y'all don't have to ask me because I see nobody's commenting. Only a few people press like on the video. So y'all don't have to ask me, but I want you to ask yourself. When you put these products on your hair and they got all these different ingredients, what was the side effect of all those products on your scalp? And if you haven't asked yourself that, I want you to look at the condition of your hair after you use them and tell yourself the side effect of that product was that now my hair does not moisturize anymore. The side effect of that product was that it turns white and now I can't oil my scalp anymore and now my locks are thinning, right? That's what's going to happen. Those are the side effects. So if you have thinning locks and you have no clue why, go back and check your product regimens. If you're not a loctician and you letting a loctician use use whatever products on your scalp, ask them, can you see that? And take a picture of the ingredient list and then go back and research what does that do? What actually is that, right? Because a lot of products, they have the botanical name of the products, which is that long chemical sounding name. When sometimes like castor oil, right? Instead of them putting castor oil on the label, you'll see it says communist ricinus, right? That is the botanical name for castor oil. And that's designed so that anybody can't just take your product and just make it themselves. You get what I'm saying? And so you want to be educated on this. Even if you go to a stylist or whatever you're doing, you definitely want to be educated on it yourself, because a person could just become a loctician by looking at YouTube yesterday and then they'd be like, oh, my brother let me do his hair. Oh, my family. That means you don't have a clue what the hell the products are, though. The products, like you might know how to get a comb and do this, but the products that you're using, have you researched the ingredients, what they do to skin, what type of effects they have? Because that is public information. If I pick up any product and I want to know what it's going to do to the skin, all I need to do is look at the ingredients and I can research what's the effects on skin, because your scalp is skin. Okay, so I'm going over this. I don't really want to have to go over this. In a perfect world, everybody would just understand. I'm not going to just put anything on my scalp, but most of y'all don't understand that, and you're getting toe up behind it. Okay, your loctician is toe up. And that's why I got my new page on Instagram called Fuck Your Loctician. Because at the end of the day, it's fuck y'all locticians. Because y'all locticians don't be knowing what y'all doing. And y'all be okay with it as long as your video is viral. But I have seen people on viral videos and the client is actually in my inbox stating that their hair fell out, but you never took the video down because you like the views. And people are asking you to do the same thing to their hair because you haven't actually showed the side effects afterwards. So how I want y'all to kind of combat that, I want you to start looking through people's stuff and looking at the lock journey, not just the one video. So when you see my clients on my stuff, you'll see that they've been coming to me for years and their hair is not broken. That's what you want to look for. You don't want to keep looking at these locticians who got these people that came into their shop one time. Like, yeah, that looks cute, but what did it look like 2 or 3 days later? That's what you need to know, because that's what you're really dealing with. Them 5 seconds before they leave the shop, that doesn't really matter. It's literally the time afterwards, okay? All right? And we definitely want to be making sure that we are moisturizing properly with stuff that actually moisturizes, okay? If you're using a tea tree oil to moisturize, you're probably not going to get a lot of moisture, because that is a thin little oil that really doesn't penetrate through the hair at all. It just sits on top, okay? So let's talk about that for 1 second too, because a lot of people are confused about oils and what they actually do. If a loctician told you not to use oil on your scalp, I want you to leave them alone, okay? Because oil, just like we're plant-based and we grow from watering and we have most of our body as water, so do plants. So when you start seeing oil and somebody saying, oh, don't use that, we want to leave them alone, because they don't got a clue. But give me 1 second, y'all. I got to plug up.